Buenos días, hoy es lunes, es el 27 de abril y quiero saludar a todos hoy. Buenos días. I hope everyone is doing well. We're going to start this week and writing your children's books. And so things are going to look a little bit differently from this point forward. Um, I'm sure you've all heard by now that we're going to finish the school year online, and that makes me especially sad because you are eighth graders moving on to ninth grade, and so I won't have a formal goodbye. However, I'm very excited to work on a project that I think both you and I will really enjoy and a final product that you will be really proud of. I will be there to help you along the way. Your work is now going to change to weekly work, and I've kind of taken a step back as far as when you want to submit this. So I'm going to go over what this looks like so there aren't, so I can leave you with less confusion and more clarity. Please, so I've been getting a lot of questions from you via email, and I really encourage that. I usually respond within the same day. One question that a lot of students are asking is if they should take Spanish 1 or Spanish 2 for high school. Definitely take Spanish 2. Spanish 1 is what you're taking right now. So you are in a high school level course right now. When you move on to the senior high, you will already have 1 year of language on your transcript. So I'm very proud of you. Okay, so you are going to see now in your Schoology course that now I'm going by week. La semana de 27 de abril al 1 de mayo. The week of April 27th to May 1st. Okay? Even if we might not have school, like say on Memorial Day, or the governor made an announcement that we might not have school May 1st, this is still this week, and you can work until Friday to get this week's work done. Okay? So, your Schoology folders look slightly different. Now, I'm going to go over the materials that you now have. If you scroll into Recursos para el libro infantil o juvenil, children's book resources, infantil is like an infant book or a baby book, juvenil is a kid's book. You guys will be writing kind of right on the cusp, right in the middle. So I have 3 things that you're going to be using quite a bit. Carpeta de la clase is your class folder. The one that you took every day and put on your desk is the one that you used. I had mine, and I made sure that that was scanned before we left Highland. So you'll look in there and you'll see all the ser, estar, respuestas, a lot of the common verbs that we use. The grammar key. That is when you see my grammar comments, SP, meaning spelling, CON, meaning conjugation, PUN, punctuation error. That's what I'm going to be using to edit your work and your children's story, and you will be using this grammar key to help you decode and figure out how you can improve. A new thing that I realized I should have taught you sooner versus later, but here we are, is the Spanish dictionary. Now, some of you are doing a great job of avoiding Google Translate, and that's very evident because I see the level of Spanish that's more accurate for a beginning learner, such as yourselves. Others I can see are using Google Translate. Really avoid Google Translate and work with me to use the Spanish that we have already learned. I'm going to click in here and show you how to use this. Once you're in Spanish dictionary, I'm going to give you an example of how you can, let's say you wanted the word tie, like what someone wears, right? So I'm going to click in there. I see the pronunciation here. I also see different examples. Clothing. Okay, that's what I want. If I'm looking for la corbata, here it is, and it gives an example there. This is where we can run into errors. You might not read the list of all of these. Let's say you were talking about a sports game. Tie also can be empate. The soccer game ended in a tie. Okay, so we really have to use and read as we are working on nouns, and we need to know one noun, okay? You might need to use a verb, okay? And you could put the verb in there in the infinitive, like to run, to eat, to speak, but then you will want to work on conjugating that. Okay, I'm going to get out of there. So we'll work on using that Spanish dictionary as a good tool for you. Okay? Your Spanish book draft is now here. For each week, the draft is due by Friday, but it can be handed in earlier. Okay? This is where you will write everything. If I say next week the draft 2 is due, you will basically go back to the edit marks that I made, fix them, and keep writing. Okay? I expect you to keep building onto your story. Some of you are going to write your whole story at once, and we will do the whole editing as we go along. Some of you are going to write, maybe the beginning and then the middle the next week and then the end the week after. Whatever it is to help you pace yourself is fine. I will be putting your grade in on a 0 to 8 scale based on where you are on that draft, and I can only predict improvements. Don't focus on the grade, focus on the feedback, okay? Focus on the progress, okay? So I'm going to go back into the course. All right, so we've just discussed the resources, that folder, the draft on Google. Now that we are working on weekly requirements, this is what you're going to see for the whole week. And I only want one discussion or one comment for the week. This week's question is, what is one question or one comment that you have regarding your children's book? So just something that we can sort of talk about on the discussions. Also, I want you to spend 5 to 10 minutes on the following. Now, because it's 1 week, I have merged vocabulario número 9 y 10 y gramática número 9 y 10. So work on these. This helps build your vocab and grammar for your story. Finally, I really want you to be looking in and reading the feedback. I've been writing feedback for every one of your discussions, for every one of your plot diagrams. I write feedback. And if you need to find old work, we can go back into Trabajo Diario, and you're going to find all of that there. So this is a new change. This is basically for the whole month of May. You have to write the children's book, and you also might just want to get excited about starting on the illustrations. You will be using Google Slides for the format for the book, but right now we are just putting the pieces together. So right now we're just using Google Docs to write the story. And once the story is finished, that's when you'll start creating a book. Okay? Thanks to everyone. Have a great week, and I will see you next Monday and be in touch with you online this whole week. Muy bien. Adios.